Hey everybody, this is Brian here. I wanted to talk about music today. It's something that's really, really, really close to my heart, and it has been since I was a teen. I listened to music before that, but just kind of as a background element. And when I got deeper into music, I feel like it helped me mature and develop farther as a person, and it helped me grow up. And a lot of people, I think today, unfortunately, listen to music in the same way that I kind of did when I was a child, which is as a white noise element in the background of your life, just something on the car radio while you're driving somewhere, la da 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 da, you don't really pay attention to the words or, you don't know what key it's in. It's just something going on around you to make it easier to get through your day. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that people should go deeper into music, realize what potential it has in terms of therapeutic ways, medically, also in terms of achieving journeys that you might normally need other substances, unfortunately, to achieve. Look at Woodstock, but also look at if you listen to psychedelic music or something from the late 60s, early 70s is a good starting place if you're trying to use music for spiritual journeys. um, if you really throw yourself into the feeling of the song, into the melody, and you commit to what they were trying to actually convey to you when they wrote that song, throw yourself into the sound. Uh, Let yourself see what kind of journey you can actually achieve on a song like Echoes by Pink Floyd, or Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. There's certain songs that they have that potential, that kind of psychedelic almost potential to go on a journey, to take an experiment, not an experiment, but an experience, to take a trip almost, that you would normally, like I said, not be able to do clean. And I think that that's part of the reason why we shouldn't let music flounder on the periphery of our life as a background element, because it can be a lot more than that. And aside from a hedonistic, pleasure seeking sense of using music to headbang and to dance around your room, almost like you're one of those holy roller people who are just like have practically, uh, they're really going into it. Yeah. But anyways, there's other more serious potentials here beyond just achieving psychedelic potentials and letting music take you on spiritual routes. This is the next thing I'd like to talk about. I think that certain songs, especially like Sister Rosetta Tharpe, I think that they can take you to a deeper place, and I think that um, letting you connect to whatever you believe in. This is not necessarily a pitch at you guys for one specific religion, but whatever you believe in, even atheistically, and if you believe in more of just a general spiritual connection somewhere in the sky, I think that music can be one of the best places to take yourself into something deeper existentially, and to take yourself on that road, on that trip, on that climbing that ladder, like I said earlier, towards something beyond yourself, towards something greater, towards something that actually breaks the cycle, the hamster wheel like cycle of unfortunately redundant, you know, how life can be when you get in a rut, and kind of things running together almost. But I think we should get beyond, car radio, white noise type lives, and we should actually see what music can do for us. Turn it up a little bit. Uh, Fuck your neighbors, fuck your parents. Turn your music up. And I'm obviously kidding about those things, of course, but I'm just saying turn the music up a little bit so you can feel it more. You can feel it. One of the important terms that I would like you guys to remember from this video is resonate. uh, Turn it up louder, turn the music up louder so you can resonate harder on that journey almost. Not really harder, that's maybe not the best word, but so you can resonate, so your frequency can connect more with that song. And this might all sound like a bit of science fiction, but I think that music can really take you to deeper and more emotional um, frequencies than you could otherwise reach most of the time, unless you're having some sort of outside help. Anyways, yeah. But I'd also like to, like I said, talk about spirituality in here a little bit, in the sense that I think that music can help you reach up a little bit and connect to something beyond yourself. And I think that looking for different types of music beyond just the standard, like Led Zeppelin, Bob Dylan, Beatles, whatever fucking, I don't know what you guys are listening to today, Taylor Swift or fucking Billy Bob Thornton or something. I have no idea what the fuck is on the radio today. To be honest with you, I've tuned out. I'm listening to I'm listening to old music now. I'm listening to like the 20s through the 90s, and since 2000, music has kind of taken a nosedive in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, though I still think the third thing I'd like to talk about here is music therapy. I think that um, starting from the point of view of somebody who's got chronic long-term epilepsy that developed as an adult, you guys may have in the past seen some of my videos where I talked about how up to the age of 22 I didn't really have any major continuous health problems, but when I got a seizure, I hit my head and I woke up in the back of an ambulance. It really scared me, and I think that music is one of those things that help me calm myself, help me relax myself, and actually steady my frequency a little bit. To tell you guys a little bit about epilepsy and a little bit about me, my brain waves they have a lot of interference frequently from I guess you'd say overactivity. Um, Epilepsy causes your brain to almost be like a spastic radio wave, and so for music to steady the storm a little bit, to right the ship, I think that it has a therapeutic possibility. Also, I'm sorry, I'm in pre-seizure mode today, which is why I wanted to make this video uh, talking about the help that I think it can possibly bring you guys. But I've had a little bit of a jaw myoclonus, which is akin to a little bit of a small seizure or a stutter. Um, I apologize for that. But anyways, moving back to the idea of music therapy, another way that music has helped me personally, and I think that it can help you, is insomnia. A lot of people use classical music in this sense, but I think that if you turn it to a volume that is either low or either high enough that it kind of it helps you relax, almost like a seagull. Imagine a seagull gliding over the ocean and how it just rides the wind after a while. If you can find yourself comfortable enough in the music where you just begin to kind of ride the waves, so to speak, and you actually just kind of flow into sleep, I think that that's another way that music could be very therapeutic. Also, expression. If you learn to play an instrument, which may take time, but it is very worth it, I think. Um, I think that it can be a way to actually bring your emotions out, especially if you were raised in an environment where you were taught not to express yourself, or if you simply lack someone to express yourself to. Maybe you're a little bit shy and you don't want to bring those deeper things about yourself to another person, or it embarrasses you. Music is a way, similar to poetry or something, that you can bring those things out of yourself and not just shove them down, but actually turn them into an art form. Actually, that's another way to have a journey. Is if you get really into your playing, not to self promote, but if you watch any of my music covers, you can see that I get like, oh, I get really into it. some some people do. Some people are very stoic while they play. Like I've seen Jimmy Page play, and he's just very calm and very stern almost looking while he plays. He doesn't really jump around. Like I saw the video for it's from, I think, Die Young by Alice in Chains, and they're just all headbanging and jumping up and down, and that's a more frenetic style of energy. But you can find multiple styles of energy, which is actually my next topic. Styles of energy to suit your mood. Make a playlist. Make a playlist of happy songs if that's how you're feeling. Make a playlist of sad songs if you want something to relate to. And if you're like me, where you prefer shuffle, throw them all together into one big pool. Um, the cool thing about this is that it's something you can control. You can do this any way you want. You don't have to do Anything I'm telling you, you could do something completely different. Um, but you should do this, I think. Um, don't let music fade away into the background of your life because it can help you a lot. It's really helped me. I learned to play guitar and it helped me express myself when I hadn't previously uh, been drawing much lately or writing at that period of time, speaking in terms of when I was about 14. And so learning to play music really helped me out. And also, researching music is another thing you can do. Get into the history of music. I learned about a artist named Django Reinhardt from the Quintet de Hot Club de France. I'm butchering that name, and I apologize for that. But that was one of the earliest artists I had ever heard of. My grandparents were in a jazz band, and it helped me to actually branch out and find other musicians from that point in time. Like Fats Waller was another early stride pianist that I found out about, and Stefan Grappelli. It was an amazing violinist who actually lived well into the 1990s as an old man. So he wasn't one of those people who was unfortunately taken away early. You know, a lot of people, that 27 Club kind of thing that's become commonly mentioned in pop culture. But anyways, I think the idea of a white noise life is something that's really sad, and it's become more common. You know, especially with streaming. Streaming, I think, is the bane of music's existence. Frankly, I think the idea of music streaming really takes people out of physical media, which is a way that they can collect things and you know, if you have a drawer full of CDs, that's things that you've selected from a shelf you've spent some money on. It means something to you, and it's something also. Another word I would use is it's something you possess. It's something that is part of your, uh, uh, I guess, physically secure collection. It's something that you own, you know, and instead of just listening to it on Pandora, I would say streaming turns music from something that you can hold, from something that means something from or to you, something sentimental. You know, back in the days when they would go to a record store and they would buy something, they would buy the latest single, they would buy the latest album, and we had classic album covers like Dark Side of the Moon and like the what was that Electric Ladyland is what I'm thinking of. Sorry. Anyways, yeah. But we had classic album covers. We had parts of the music we'd get really excited about, like going to the store and actually picking up a CD. I remember going and getting Alice in Chains Unplugged. It was a pretty sweet moment that I still remember. It was one of the first CDs I bought. Stained, The Doors, their greatest hits, Tom Petty. Those are just some memories that I have. Instead of music blowing by in your life like a fall leaf, you know, um, I think that's what Pandora and this is a YouTube video, so it's a little bit of a self gut punch, but I think that that's kind of what YouTube and Pandora and Bluetooth and internet media have kind of done to music as a whole. Is they've turned it from something that's in our arms and is really sentimentally meaningful to our hearts. They've turned it from that into just something passing, something that really is just a background element of our lives. Listen to it kind of like with your morning cup of coffee in the background as you go to work, you know, and that's fine if that's part of your routine and it helps you get through the day. Fantastic. Any way that you can include music in your life is only a help to yourself. But I think that if you don't dive deeper, you're kind of hitting your head on your own feet, so to speak. You know, I think that honestly, another way that music can help us is if we use it to meet new people and to get into new cultures. You know, listen to how Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones has a little bit of an Indian feel to it, you know, and that's kind of branching out into new territories. You might not have heard things like the sitar or, you know, a 12 or 7 string guitar. You might not have even known these things existed. Listen to Ginger Baker and his um, exemplary incorporation of African musics and rhythms into his songs, and that's why he gets more complicated, intricate. I guess you would say he has like more of the cymbal in his music, and he kind of uses that instead of just the bass drum to keep time. I don't know. It's really interesting when you look at things that are more global, more multicultural, and I think that that's another way that music can go beyond and to grow beyond white noise meaninglessly in the background of our life, just like a sheet of paper sitting there. Use it to grow beyond that. I think that you could really learn about the world. You could really learn about history. I learned about. I started getting into history more, and then I actually found my major through music. Uh, finding out about that early history, that jazz and stride piano, and artists like Jelly Roll Morton and Fats Waller, they had really interesting names. Scrapper, Blackwell. It's kind of like the old baseball names they used to have were more creative. They had cool nicknames back then, actually. But after that, I started to actually find my major and find my footing, and I actually thought, wow, this is a really interesting period of time. I'm gonna go back and learn more about this. And so by music, I actually ended up getting my AA in history because I was thinking, wow, the Roaring Twenties and how that proceeded into the 30s and into WW2 and on. Music can really take you back. And also, one thing I wanted to learn about is ancient music. It could really take you back through the world and through history, and it could help you in terms of yourself. If you're feeling like you can't sleep at night, you're tossing and turning, turn on some Chopin or some Tchaikovsky or something, and try some of Pink Floyd's more mellow songs like Us and Them. Um, I think that the thing is that music has an aura, it has a radiation, it has a glow, and it has a frequency, and it has a resonance within our souls. So you have to remember that music isn't just something in the background meaninglessly in your life, that it's something that can actually openly improve the quality of your life, in the sense that if you learn what uh, what kind of what flows as a part of you. Remember that you're the one who really matters in this video. I might have mentioned a lot of things about myself or what I liked, but what really matters here is that you yourself, you're the one who matters here. That you use music to grow or to help you heal in other senses. If you've got neurological sense, in a neurological sense, illness like I do, maybe music's frequencies. There's varying frequencies, everything from frenetic 80s metal to classical piano. That it's like I said, it's mellow, almost like a gull gliding over the sea. But yeah, remember that you're the one who matters here, and music can help you in a variety of ways. So don't leave it there. It's kind of like if a family member, because music is really an elemental part of all of us. It's really like a family member expecting a ride, and if you just kind of left them at the bus stop and drove on, um, I think that there's a lot more important roles for it to play. Anyways, thank you guys for committing your time to watching this rather long video. I love you guys all because you're you, and I think that music is really the physical manifestation of love, and I think that we can all let it into our souls in a spiritual sense, and it can help us ride on journeys in the sense that I just was listening to Metallica an hour ago, and I was just so into it that I honestly felt like I was going to wake up in Beijing or something. It was, and I really think music can take you places, in a literal sense, in that, and also in a metaphorical sense. It can take you places. Um, it can take. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of epilepsy symptoms. It can take you places spiritually, and it can take you places literally, and that it can help medical issues, and it can help you make friends and learn about the world. So I'm gonna stop here. Actually, I love you guys, and I'm gonna tune out, and I'll see you later.